Hi friends, my name is Dirk. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People, and this video is about feelings, and it's additionally about the complicated relationship between what you know, how you feel, and the prime directive. So, there's a couple of specific instances in my own life recent that launched this line of thinking. The first was learning just yesterday that some people bought the half acre or so of hill across the street, planned to build a house there. The second is a conversation I had with my friend Corey via text. In both instances, I'm left with disrupted, kind of bad feelings. And both instances are illustrative of how FI, feelings, has a complicated relationship with knowing things, and that relationship's cleared up if instead of referencing what you know, we reference the prime directive, what you expect. So, regarding the people across the street, we did not expect this to ever be an issue here at this house, that somebody was going to build across the street, because when we first moved in, we took steps to prevent that. I attempted to purchase that hill and was informed that basically they couldn't figure out if it was even for sale. And the sign that was there on the hill should have been taken down years prior. Well, someone apparently has managed to buy the hill, and they're going to build there. The thing is, that actually plays in beautifully to larger plans we had in the works anyway. We're going to end up selling this house. And the fact that that's happening pushes up the time frame, makes it more urgent for us to sell this ASAP. It's actually totally a good thing that we found this out. It's all great, right? But it causes me emotional distress simply because it's contrary to what I had expected, given that I had done the legwork to solidify the legitimacy of those expectations, right? The fact that those expectations have been proved false turns out not to be a bad thing, but a good thing. Doesn't change the fact that I expected wrong, and that's fundamentally distressing to human beings. In the second instance, I'm chatting with Corey, and Corey is probably drunk, not like he always is, but when he gets chatty like this, it's usually an indication that maybe he's been drinking. Anyway, and the conversation we have is one in which I feel as though he's resistant to affording any kind of affirmation to anything that I do or have to say, really, as a means of feeling okay about it himself. But the thing is, what I know about the situation is that he's not behaving in a way that is indicative of something bad about him, though it might normally be indicative of that. He's behaving like somebody who's had almost their entire identity attacked away by a horrible relationship with a BPD partner who's gaslighting him and abusing him and has been for decades. He's nearly broken, I know this, and I know that that is the salient fact, that any dealings with him should be undertaken under that frame of reference, and to recognize that because I know what I know, when he's saying things that are invalidating my equal legitimacy, basically, as a curve surfer or whatever. That he's not doing that consciously exactly, that he's acting out these scripts that have been played out in his own intimate relationship over and over again, and is displaying a lot of damage, That the best thing I can do is to actually behave like I know what's going on, not that I'm attached to some sort of fairness thing here, But again, I think it comes down to expectations. Knowing and expecting are different things. I expect my shit in general, whatever it is, whether it's an explanation about something, a song, anything, I expect it to be evaluated on its merits. And when it's not, it frustrates me. When it's evaluated on any other thing than its merits. I'm not frustrated when I make something bad and it's evaluated as bad on its merits. I believe myself to be very objective about my own stuff. I've got endless amounts of experience generating stuff in quality levels from absolutely terrible to pretty close to genius, Obviously, a lot fewer of these, but the point is, I am much happier to have somebody correctly shit on something that's bad of mine than to validate it. So, in reality, when I face this notion or face this kind of thing that says that either I'm deluding myself, I'm being too subjective, I'm biased, I'm lacking in self-awareness to understand my own motivations, stuff like that, like that that there's something wrong with me that needs to be fixed by his intuition or something. Well, it runs afoul of my expectation that I will be evaluated holistically only on matters of character, and that in any given individual instance of something that I do, it will be evaluated on its merits. I really dislike it when people dismiss what I'm saying without responding to it because they're intuiting that there's something about me that needs to be factored in first rather than the actual content of my words. Anyway, so for me it creates a very, I think, human experience of a conundrum, which is, what do you do when you really love and care about somebody and they are displaying damage, behaving in kind of toxic ways towards you, like toxic light, and yet you understand that ultimately it's because they're hurting so much, and yet that understanding doesn't seem to change your expectations. I want to be a good person and a good friend, and sometimes it's hard, and like in this instance, I kind of maybe started the shit by trying to preempt shit, He wanted me to listen to this guy he shared with me from SoundCloud, so he's such a genius and stuff. I listened to a little bit of it. I said, I was kind of overly negative about it in the outset, just saying, well, my initial impression is I'm not hearing a great deal of songwriting here, but I got to listen to more. I don't really have an opinion about it yet. But, that initial kind of negativity, I think made him, understandably believe that I was prejudging him before I listened to it, which is not the case. And, conflict ensued. Anyway, now I've got emotions accordingly, and emotions take up a lot of space in my head. So what do I have to do to get them out of there? Talk about these things. And now I feel a little bit better. If you have had a similar experience to me, dealing with somebody that you love and that you know is being broken by somebody, some third party, you want to be as supportive as possible and also want to enjoy them as the person you love, but their circumstances are so bad that it's causing them to act out against you in some way, verbally or whatever other way. If you have any such experience and any thoughts on resolving it, I would actually really like to hear about that in the comments. You don't hear me say this very often, so when I do, it's true. If you do have any comments on this, advice, whatever, I'm all ears. Thanks.